There are some things that everybody just knows. Things like Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard person. For a long time, another one of those points was this. But over time, the tide of public opinion has swayed. So what's up? How does this turn into this? I asked some of Melee's greatest heads what they thought makes a character hyper lame, and here are 2 core points I came up with. Fast and flashy, high risk, rarely seen options are hype. The reason why Melee stands so successful as a competitive game today, even 20 years post-release, is because of the absolute speed of this game. Look at that shit. You like that? Discluding Falcon for now, let's talk about Melee's favorite son, Fox McCloud. This guy's fast. Sonic's over here like, damn dude, this guy's crazy. Without going too in depth about his options, Fox's moveset is more conducive to hype gameplay than not. His moves are quick and he's able to string those moves together in ways that are consistently different.
That has to be one of the nastiest combos I've ever gotten on anyone in my life.
He gets comboed easily because he falls faster than the other characters. And in turn, this makes the average game with Fox more exciting. From a more general standpoint, there are some moves which are considered hype almost every time they hit. Almost always, these are high risk and rarely seen options.
Oh! Oh! My God!
On the other side of the spectrum, there are options which are usually considered lame due to spammability and commonality. However, these can still be used in ways that are fun to watch given a sick combo. So we've got a pretty good foundation for what makes something hype. So it stands to reason that this is exciting. And the opposite is lame. This is pretty self-explanatory. The more Melee you play or watch, the more you'll be able to start discerning what these options are that make you want to go outside and throw your GameCube controller into a pit of quicksand. Up throw rest, camping with projectiles, and the now banned wobbling are great examples of this. Basically all our cornerstones of the respective characters' gameplay are defensive or passive, and are easily spammable, especially at lower levels of play. Now that we know what makes for exciting gameplay and what makes for this, let's see where Captain Falcon stands in this hot mess. The year is 2005. Esports are beginning to rise in the public eye, and Super Smash Bros. Melee is sponsored by the Major League Gaming circuit. Among this group of misfits, there is one player who manages to make a relatively unused character at the time, Captain Falcon, look like God had come down to race Hot Wheels with the big boys. Isai was best known for unorthodox combos, flashy gameplay, and being nasty as hell. He was one of the top 3 players in the world and placed near or at the top in many tournaments at this time period. He is considered by many to be the most influential Falcon, and his legacy inspired the next generation of Captain Falcon players. Into 2009 and beyond, we've got Bobby Scar. He's best known now for commentating, but he was placing within top 8 at some of the biggest tournaments of the time. He's also known for making the I Killed Mufasa series of combo videos, and being the self-proclaimed most electrifying man in Smash Bros. History. We've got SilentSpectre. Best known for being the Captain Falcon in the Wombo Combo, and also being one of the best players in California. And we've got Darkrain, who is best known today for being named Darkrain. After this era, Hax Money was the definitive best Falcon to do it. With a peak ranking of 6th in the world in 2013, a playstyle centered around defense and type punish game, Hax was best known for his innovations and custom combos with Captain Falcon. After that, something happened.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect
Captain Falcon main.
But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction.
Stupid ass chain grabs.
From the products of a lab in Central Florida, out came 20GX, a group of nerds who had infiltrated Melee's only sacred character. With new technology, Captain Falcon was being thoroughly studied like never before. Every option, every movement, every frame. And the fruits of that labor? Now, In modern times, there are 3 big names for Captain Falcon. Wizzrobe, the product of 20GX, S2J, and None. Respectively, these players were ranked 5th, 11th, and 15th in 2019. The 3 have an interesting dynamic because they essentially act as a spectrum for the most defensive to the most offensive playstyles at the top level of Melee, let alone Captain Falcon. Since we already touched on him, let's look at what Wizzrobe has to bring to the table. And let's start by going a little bit deeper on those chain grabs. He's the only Captain Falcon player in the world who can execute reaction tech chasing to this level, being able to wait for the opponent to tech a roll before he grabs you again and combos you to death. In order to get these insane punishes, his gameplay is characterized by being more defensive than his peers. He's a master of staying back and waiting for the opponent to do a move first. It's very likely that Wizzrobe is also the best user of Smash DI, a technique which allows you to move in a direction after getting hit. While the most common use of SDI is probably escaping a fox up air, he uses the technique at an incredibly high level to escape combos early and live longer.
What? Smash DI onto Battlefield.
You can't do that. You cannot do that.
Next up is S2J, a player with a generally balanced defensive and offensive game. Although the thing that stands out about him most is the infamous Johnny stock.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
When S2J clutches out a game in explosive fashion with a 0 to death combo, his solidity in neutral and out of shield game are less talked about. He plays melee in a way that is patient and more calculated than you may believe at first glance, and he baits his opponent out with solid pressure and movement. He knows when to back off and when to corner the opponent with everything he's got. Finally, None. None is characterized by going for wacko nutjob shit, and then the opponent loses their stock. By using crazy options and things that nobody else would go for, he's able to condition his opponent to do what he wants them to do. None's win condition is confusing his opponent by being sick and getting reads. Although he doesn't pressure the opponent directly as much as someone like S2J does, he's pressuring the opponent in other ways to get them to do what he wants. So, to answer the question of this video, is Captain Falcon secretly lame? If we look back at the previously established definition of what's hype and what's lame, then maybe? None is unique in his gameplay, is extremely aggressive, and has unorthodox combos, so he's hype. S2J plays a little more defensively and uses safe options for pressure, but he also has a great deal of explosive moments. That puts him somewhere probably in the middle. Wizzrobe plays the most passively and uses safe, consistent options. This would make him a lame player. But honestly, I take issue with this. While it's obvious that None is sick, I think S2J and Wizzrobe are too. One of the things that inspired this video was a Twitter post by top player Spark about the levels of Melee. In this image, I'd say I'm probably around here, so maybe this makes me biased because I'm dog shit at Super Smash Bros. Melee. I'm not the pinnacle of Melee yet where I believe that Wizzrobe tech chasing is stale, like wobbling or puff rest. Seeing him trap his opponents and get kills off of the slightest mistakes is really special.
Could be everywhere.
Oh my god, Wizzy is so clutch!
Also, it's important to note that my previous description of him was a generalization, and he does sometimes go for the explosive options that S2J and None do. When you look at a clip from Isai, you might realize that the insane combos he pulled off were things like this: stomp to knee. If you compare that as the pinnacle of combos at the time to modern gameplay, I think all the top Falcon mains are easily cooler than 2005 Isai would be now. With new innovations over time, maybe Falcon will seem more lame to the auteurs of Melee like myself. For now though, I don't really see it. #Team Wizzy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe.